Good morning. Thank you for joining us in finance this morning. And would the secretary please call the roll?
Senator Canizaro, Senator Gokachia, Senator Harris, Senator Neal, Senator Wynn, Senator Severs-Gansert, Senator Titus, Chair Dondero Loop.
Thank you very much, and please mark Senator Canizaro present when she arrives. Thank you very much. Please silence your cell phones, and we will have public comment at the end. Today on the agenda, we have 19 BDRs that will require committee introduction, and then we have 3 bills up for hearing and a possible work session. So we'll begin with the committee BDR introductions. Committee members, at your desk, you have a list of those 19 BDRs which require committee introduction. All 19 were submitted by the Governor's Finance Office and relate to budget implementation, supplemental appropriations, or one-shot appropriations. So if you will look over those, I will pause for a minute. And if anybody has any questions, please let me know. Committee members, anyone have any questions? If you are asking me if this is the last one, I cannot tell you that because there has been 173 that have come through in the last week and counting. So are there any questions? Seeing none, I will entertain a motion. Thank you very much, Senator Wynn. A second by Senator Titus. Any questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. Thank you very much, and those will be able to move to the desk. Thank you very much. We're going to take our bill hearing a little out of order. We're going to start with Senate Bill 273, and Senate Bill 273 changes the name of the Nevada State College to the Nevada State University. And here to present the bill is Senator Lang. And Senator Lang, we know we have a big day ahead of us, so thank you very much for joining us and having the time. And please go ahead when you're ready.
Senator Lang for the district, for the record, representing District 7 in Clark County. Thank you so much, and we're happy to be here today. And we know this committee is really busy and has a lot to do, and so we're going to make it really simple. This bill is simple in nature. It changes the name of Nevada State College to Nevada State University to give more flexibility and credibility to the degrees that the students learn from there. And with that, we'll be happy to take any questions.
Thank you very much. Any questions from the committee? There is a conceptual amendment. Are you going to go through that? Or would you like Mr. Thorley to do that?
If Mr. Thorley could, that would be great.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Wayne Thorley for the record, LCB Fiscal Analysis Division. There's a mock-up proposed amendment 3649 to Senate Bill number 273. This amendment is cleanup in nature. Senate Bill 273 makes changes to NRS 396.945. Existing language in that statute makes reference to Sierra Nevada College, which no longer exists. It was acquired by University of Nevada, Reno, and is now a separate campus of UNR. It's UNR at Lake Tahoe. So the amendment simply strikes the reference to Sierra Nevada College on page 2, line 6 of the bill. That's the only thing the amendment would do.
Thank you very much, Mr. Thorley. Any questions on that? I would like to ask either Senator Lang or a representative from Nevada State College or NSHE to confirm on the record that the intent of the bill is the name change and that it would have no impact on the higher education funding formula, and that the weight Nevada State College receives for courses would continue to be based on the community college and state college weights and not the university weights. This is very important because there has been lots of discussion about fiscal notes. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chair. Anthony Ruiz from Nevada State College. I would just like to confirm once again that you are correct, that this bill is designed to change our name and our name only. It is not designed to change our classification, and therefore is not intended to have any changes to the weights applied and the higher education funding formula.
Thank you very much for that clarification. All right, seeing no more testimony down in front of us, we will go to testimony in support. Is there anyone here in Carson City in support? Go ahead when you're ready.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the committee. For the record, Alejandro Rodriguez, Director of Government Relations for Nevada System of Higher Education. On behalf of the Board of Regents who voted at their March meeting to support this, we are in support of SB 273 and urge your strong support. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and go ahead, please.
Madam Chair and members of the committee, good morning. Excuse me. I'm Constance Brooks, for the record, representing the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. We are in strong support of this measure. We understand that the name change is a responsive measure to help students have their credentials be more broadly recognized in the marketplace. We also understand that there is no change to the funding formula nor to the mission of Nevada State College as a result of this legislation. And so our president is very much in support of this legislative measure, as is the campus community. And so with that, we thank you for this time.
Thank you very much. Go ahead, please.
Good morning, Madam Chair and members of the committee. Areli Alarcon, spelled A-R-E-L-I-A-L-A-R-C-O-N, with Career Nevada on behalf of the Las Vegas Global Economic Alliance. We are in support of SB 273. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Seeing no one else here in Carson City and seeing no one in Las Vegas, is there anyone on the phone lines? BPS, go ahead when you're ready.
If you would like to testify in support of AB 273, please press star 9 now to take your place in the queue.
We are on Senate Bill 273.
The public line is open and working. There are no callers at this time.
Thank you very much. All right, we will go to opposition. Is there anyone here in Carson City in opposition? Is there anyone in Las Vegas? Seeing none, BPS, please.
If you would like to testify in opposition to AB 273, please press star 9 now to take your place in the queue. The public line is open and working. There are no callers at this time.
Thank you very much. We will go to neutral. Anyone here in Carson City? Seeing none, seeing nobody in Las Vegas. BPS, please go ahead when you're ready.
There are no callers choosing to testify at this time.
Senator Lang, any closing remarks? Thank you very much. And so with that, I'll close the hearing on Senate Bill 273, and we will go to Senate Bill 232. We'll be in a brief recess for just a minute. Okay, we'll come back to the committee and we'll move on to Senate Bill 232. And this requires the state plan for Medicaid to include coverage for postpartum care services. And Senator Majority Leader Canizaro is going to present. I don't see the Assemblywoman in the audience, but we're all dashing from committee to committee. So, Majority Leader, please go ahead when you're ready.
Thank you so much, Madam Chair and members of the committee. My name is Nicole Canizaro. I represent Senate District 6 in the northwest portion of the Las Vegas Valley, and I'm pleased to be here with you all today to discuss Senate Bill 232. Senate Bill 232 basically extends a recipient's Medicaid coverage for postpartum care services to 12 months from currently 60 days. So under current law, we cover postpartum care for Medicaid recipients for 60 days. What we know from lots of research from all kinds of doctors is that your postpartum care really is essential for much longer than that. And to ensure healthy moms and babies, it should be at least 12 months, and that's maybe more my opinion, but I think would be very backed by the medical science because there are just a lot of complications that can occur for women who have just given birth, including up to 12 months postpartum. Those can include mental issues, physical issues, other ailments that might not present themselves until after that 60 days. And so Senate Bill 232 would extend that coverage. I would direct the committee's attention to the fiscal notes. I'm hopeful that we have some individuals who might be able to answer any additional questions that you all may have on this particular front. There are fiscal notes related to this particular bill from the Department of Health and Human Services, Healthcare Financing and Policy. What I would note is that because we are talking about Medicaid dollars, that there is federal match of a significant amount. So from the state general fund perspective, I believe that the entire amount for the 2024-2025 biennium would be $1,396,596 in state general funds, and that would support the drawdown as well for that additional money for coverage for those Medicaid recipients, and would allow that 12 months to be covered for those patients. And I'd be happy to answer any questions to the extent that I am able to do so, and hopefully there's some backup around here if there are some questions that I cannot answer on the fiscal front. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you very much, Majority Leader. And questions, Senator Titus.
Thank you, Majority Leader, for bringing this bill forward. I absolutely support the bill, supported it in the HHS committee. I think in the long run it will not only save lives potentially, but since we're a money committee, I actually think it's going to save money, and because we're going to invest in mom's health, and if moms are healthy, so are the babies frequently in the families. My question did revolve around the money itself, because I thought the $20 million fiscal note that was put on that I saw initially was exorbitant, because we have hard numbers on how many Medicaid moms we have, and that indeed we do get the federal match on this program, and I felt that was excessive, so I was pleased to hear that from your calculation it looked more like it would probably be 1.3 or something along those lines, and even that may be more than this is going to cost, but I think it personally, and as a physician, I think it's well worth the investment. So thank you for bringing this bill forward, and thank you for the clarification on that 1.3. So I guess that was a comment.
You can comment instead of question. All right, any additional questions from the committee? All right, with that, thank you very much, Majority Leader. And we will go to those in support here in Carson City.
Good morning, Madam Chair and members of the committee. For the record, my name is Annette Magnus, and I'm the Executive Director of Better Born Progress. We're in strong support of SB 232 because extending postpartum Medicaid coverage to 12 months will help ensure parents and babies in Nevada thrive together. This will also save money. This is a wise use of the state's resources to ensure that we are taking care of Nevada's families at a critical time to help deal with any critical health issues. We thank the Senate Majority Leader and Assemblywoman Gorlow for spearheading this critical measure. Please support SB 232. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Seeing no one else in support, we'll, Las Vegas, seeing no one, BPS, phone lines, please.
If you would like to testify in support of SB 232, please press star 9 now to take your place in the queue. The public line is open and working. There are no callers at this time.
Thank you very much. We'll go to opposition. Is there anyone in Carson City in opposition? Seeing no one in Las Vegas, we'll go to the phone lines. BPS, opposition.
If you would like to testify in opposition to SB 232, please press star 9 now to take your place in the queue. The public line is open and working. There are no callers at this time.
Thank you very much. And with that, we will go to neutral. Anyone here in Carson City? Seeing no one in Las Vegas, BPS, we'll go to the phone lines.
If you would like to testify in neutral for SB 232, please press star 9 now to take your place in the queue. The public line is open and working. There are no callers at this time.
Thank you very much. And with that, any closing comments? Senator Canizaro. Thank you very much. We'll close the hearing on Senate Bill 232, and we will move to Senate Bill 290, which is our last bill on the agenda today. Senate Bill 290 provides the regulation of employer integrated earned wage access providers and direct-to-consumer earned wage access providers. And here again is Majority Leader Senator Canizaro. Please go ahead and begin when you're ready.
Thank you, Madam Chair and members of the committee. My name is Nicole Canizaro, and I represent Senate District 6 in the northwest portion of the Las Vegas Valley. I am also here with you this morning to present Senate Bill 290, which provides licensure and regulation for the earned wage access industry. As a brief overview, what Senate Bill 290 does is establishes a new regulatory framework for earned wage access providers and allows for them to be regulated here in Nevada. These types of services, earned wage access services or on-demand pay services, are a type of financial service that allows an employee user to access their earned but yet currently unpaid wages prior to a regular payday. This innovative financial services provides a benefit to those employees who may need immediate access to their wages that they have already earned, they just haven't reached payday yet. And so this particular bill will authorize both direct-to-consumer and employer-integrated pay providers to apply for licensure as an earned wage access provider through the Department of Business and Industry's Financial Institutions Division. And this process requires them to disclose consumer protection and data privacy policies, identify fee schedules, which must include a no-cost option for those users, otherwise demonstrate to FID that they are competent to obtain a license to provide those services to Nevada users. This requires licensees to submit annual compliance reports and imposes other rules and policies that will enable FID to assert effective and ongoing regulatory oversight. Because this does establish a regulatory framework, it is accompanied with a fiscal note submitted by the Financial Institutions Division. And this particular fiscal note includes estimations of revenue that would be obtained as a result of the regulatory process, as there would be fees associated with that. And then, of course, FID would be required to administer the regulatory process and ensure proper oversight. And I believe with this particular fiscal note, because this is revenue coming in to the state, would be covered and would allow for them to be able to cover the employees in additional services that they may need to provide in order to regulate those earned wage access providers. What I would note is that this particular bill has been heavily worked on. We tried it last session, didn't quite make it, have done a lot of work in the interim, and have done a lot of work this session to sort of get the entire industry, along with the Financial Institutions Division, into a good place for this. We were requested for some technical changes that we hope this committee will consider adopting into the bill. I believe you should have a copy of an amendment from that is part of the request from the Financial Institutions Division that will allow for a few small technical changes that were requested by them. These technical changes in this proposed amendment would allow FID to use the nationwide multi-state licensing system for background checks, fingerprinting, and related licensure procedures. This language replicates existing FID language in at least 8 other statutes, which was first enacted last session with the passage of Senate Bill 453. So this aligns them with those particular statutes. It would require applicants to submit audited financial statements as part of the initial application for a license. This language was inadvertently omitted from the bill when it was introduced and should have been re-included and should have been included in the first reprint. We would like to add that so that it is there. It should have been there in the first reprint, but we inadvertently missed that. And then we want to clarify FID's authority to assess administrative fees for investigation, audit, and related functions. Those fees are authorized under similar administrative statutes and ensure that FID recovers those costs incurred in carrying out its enforcement role. These particular technical adjustments should not affect the fiscal note. They're more so for FID's ease of use process in the licensing procedure. And the fiscal note, because it does relate to revenue, we think allowing for them to also charge those fees for any investigations will allow them to perform those duties and provide the revenue for those pieces. And with that, Madam Chair, we would be happy to answer any questions that you or the committee may have.
Thank you very much. Do you have any comments?
Alyssa Naveworth on behalf of Daily Paper for Record. No, thank you, Madam Chair, but I'm here for any questions.
Thank you very much. All right, with that, Senator Titus.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you again for bringing this forward. Conceptually, I certainly support it. Just wondering, the fee is based on how much somebody is actually borrowing, or how many times, and it's not a percent of what's borrowed, correct? And it's charged to the person borrowing it?
Alyssa Naveworth on behalf of Daily Pay for the Record. Through you, Madam Chair, to Senator Titus. Every single business has a different fee structure. For the most part, those fee structures are a flat fee, and they're similar to an ATM fee, although they're much lower than traditional ATM fees.
So it's not based on how much you're, but it's always based on what do you have as available income, potentially, and you have whatever you could take off. You decide, the person decides, the employee decides, and then there's a flat charge like an ATM.
Absolutely.
Correct?
Thank you,
Okay.
Senator Titus.
And it's optional for employers to do this, so this is not a must that every employer that has an automated payroll system must sign up for this program?
Again, Alyssa Naveworth for the Record, through you, Madam Chair, to Senator Titus. Yes, it's 100% optional. It's something that employers offer as an employee benefit. It is also optional to employees as to whether or not they even want to access it.
Right. I think, again, thank you. I think it's a good concept, and again, it's something that's needed if you have that flat tire that you did not intend to, but you have money to pay for it if you could just access it. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Any additional questions? Okay. Oh, Senator Neal.
I just had a question on the credit score piece. I like the language you guys added, but what kicks a person out if their credit score is, because it's asking for a credit report and a credit score. So is there a certain score that says you will not be licensed that FID was considering?
Senator Neal, Alyssa Naveworth for the Record on behalf of Daily Pay, through you, Madam Chair, to Senator Neal. That credit report does not apply to the consumer. It applies to the licensee itself. So Oh, so the question is,
For the corporation, the licensee.
that's Alyssa Navorth for the record, through you, Madam Chair, to Senator Neal. That would be at the discretion of the Financial Institutions Division. It would be consistent with their application of credit for other similarly situated licensing programs of which they oversee.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair.
You're welcome. Any additional questions, comments? All right, with that, thank you very much. And we will go to those in support of Senate Bill 290. Go ahead when you're ready.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Members of the committee, I'm Mark Fiorentino with the law firm of Kempfer Kroll. We represent Earnin, which is a company in this industry. Very briefly, we wanted to thank the majority leader and everybody who's worked on this bill. We spent a great deal of time on what is a fairly complicated issue, working with all of the stakeholders. I actually, those stakeholders included our company, other industry representatives, FID, and Legal Aid of Nevada. And so this is truly a consensus bill, and we're grateful for you hearing it and would ask you to support it. Happy to answer any questions that you have.
I don't see any. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, seeing no one else in support, seeing no one in Las Vegas, BPS, can we go to the phone lines, please?
The public line is open and working. There are no callers at this time.
Thank you very much. We'll go to opposition. Anyone here in Carson City in opposition of SB 290? Seeing none. Seeing nobody in Las Vegas. Anybody on the line in opposition for Senate Bill 290? BPS, please.
The public line is open and working. There are no callers at this time.
Thank you very much. And we'll go to neutral. Anyone here in Carson City? Seeing no one in Las Vegas. Anyone on the lines? BPS, please go when you're ready.
The public line is open and working. There are no callers at this time.
Thank you very much. Senator Cannizzaro, any closing comments? Okay, thank you very much. We will close the hearing on Senate Bill 290. I would like to, before we finish up today, go to Senate Bill 273. Does not have a fiscal impact. We just heard this bill, so I won't ask Mr. Thorley to go over it again. But since we just heard this bill, if we could open it up for any comments, and then I would entertain a motion. I would take, do you have a question? Oh, amend and do pass. Senator Titus, amend and do pass. Second from Senator Wynn. Any discussion on the vote? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. Motion passes. Congratulations, Senate Bill 273 and Senator Lang and Nevada State University. Thank you. Okay, with that, we'll move on to public comment, which is the last item on our agenda. Is there anyone here in Carson City for public comment? Please come forward, state your name just for the record, if anybody's here. Go ahead when you're ready.
Thank you. Rebecca Stetson for the record. Thank you, Majority Leader Senator Janjaroloup and the committee. I'm here to make comment on SB 244. It's a school garden bill that I only was aware of during its first hearing and have been trying to work with Green Our Planet and other folks to make some amendments. So I'm the executive director of a nonprofit called Farmily. We teach about 2,000 kids in Northern Nevada every year. And we've created a coalition between myself, Urban Roots, the Farm Bureau, and a few other organizations who represent garden education in Northern Nevada. And so we're looking to try to get a few amendments made to SB 244 to open it up to garden education in Northern Nevada. The current bill as it stands is very specific to school gardens, but over the last 20 years of my experience, as well as Urban Roots experience and others' experience in Northern Nevada, garden education is most effectively done outside of schools and outside of school hours through after school and summer programs. And so I just wanted to make you guys aware of our institutions and our efforts to make this bill more equitable between northern and southern Nevada. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any additional public comment here in Carson City? Seeing none in Las Vegas, BPS will go to the phone lines for public comment.
If you would like to provide public comment, please press star 9 now to take your place in the queue or raise your hand in the Zoom window. The public line is open and working. There are no callers at this time.
Thank you very much. And with that, committee members, that completes our business for this morning. I'll see you again tomorrow, and I hope everyone has a good rest of their day. Thank you.